Welcome to Choir Talks. My name is Greg O'Neill. I'm the worship pastor at Ridgecrest Baptist Church. Thanks for joining me for this podcast. I'm reading through the book of Proverbs, and last week we talked about one theme, which is the theme of pride, and it was illustrated by the behavior of a fool and the wise person. This week I see another theme that is really developed in Proverbs, and that is the theme of speech and how we use our words. And it's also characterized by the way a foolish person or a wise person speaks. If you read the book of James and the book of Proverbs, you'll notice an obvious link between the two. It's as though James had just finished reading Proverbs when he sits down to write his letter to the church, and he is interpreting maybe some of the wisdom that he finds there. In James chapter 3, he says, "No human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison." When I was young, we used to say, "Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never harm me." The truth is, though, words are powerful. They can help shape us for good. They can be used to encourage, to offer new ideas, to communicate love or forgiveness or acceptance. But they can also tear down. They can destroy. They can lead someone astray. So Proverbs has much to say about this subject, and it often equates our speech with our tendency to either be wise or to be foolish. So here's 4 types of speech that for us to think about today as we think about some of the Proverbs. The first is careless speech. I know, like me, you've probably had that experience of saying something and immediately wishing you could take the words back. It's one of the types of speech in Proverbs is that foot in mouth, talk before you think, careless speech that does damage to ourselves or others. So here's some of the things that Proverbs says about that. The words of the reckless pierce like swords. In Proverbs 15:1, a harsh word stirs up anger. In Proverbs 10:13, the mouth of a fool invites ruin. The mouth of fools are their undoing. To answer before listening, that is folly and is shame. So you can see in Proverbs there's a lot to be said about just speaking too quickly, speaking without really considering what you're going to say. And those careless words are often some of the words that make the most difference in the lives of the people that we speak to. Secondly, though, maybe you'd be honest, like me, to say that sometimes the issue isn't just being careless, but it's being intentionally deceptive with what we say. Sometimes we use deceptive speech or speech with wrong motives, and Proverbs has a lot to say about that. It says, "A dishonest man spreads strife, and a whisperer separates close friends." Also, whoever derides their neighbor has no sense, but the one who has understanding holds their tongue. A false witness will not go unpunished. Whoever pours out lies will not go free. Without wood, a fire goes out. Without a gossip, a quarrel dies down. So there's several thoughts right there about us wrongly using our tongue in an intentional way. We've got to speak the truth. We've got to speak in a way that doesn't gossip or tear down somebody who's not in our presence. And certainly when we have the opportunity to bear witness in a matter, we've got to tell the truth there. There are also 2 wise ways of speaking that are mentioned here. Careful speech is what I would call one of them. Here's some of the Proverbs along that line. When words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. A soft answer, a gentle answer, turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The heart of the righteous ponders how to answer. So careful speech really involves that moment of intentionality before we say something, to really consider the impact of our words. So when words are many, this proverb said, transgression is not lacking. When we just speak too much too quickly, somewhere along the line we're going to make a mistake. So the heart of the righteous, he says, ponders how to answer, thinks it through before we speak. And I especially love this one, a gentle answer turns away wrath. So when we are careful Even when someone is speaking angry to us, we can make a difference in a relationship and in a conflict. And then lastly, there's loving speech, caring speech. And this part is really exciting to me. This is a way we can use our speech to bring hope or healing or comfort to someone else that we're speaking to. I want to have this kind of wisdom in the way that I talk. Here are some of those proverbs. The tongue of the wise brings healing. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. Gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body. From the mouth of the righteous comes the fruit of wisdom. So think about today. You have opportunities to use your mouth and your speech in a wise way that might bring healing to someone, that might make a difference not only in their day, but maybe in the way they see themselves, the way they see the Lord, or the way they see their life, that might make a positive change for them. The Lord can use you and use your tongue if you let Him direct you. So I encourage you today to look through Proverbs, to think about the way that you speak, to be careful, and to be loving and caring. Have a great day.